Yo, what's good people? Welcome to the Raven Beginner Guide. I'm going to start off by talking about some key moves. I'm just going to give you 5 or 6 key moves to just get you started with the character. So I'm going to give you 3 mids and 3 lows to use. Firstly, forward 2-3. So this is actually safe now in Tekken 8. So it's a very long range mid string. And this also goes into stance. So this is very good for mind games. And yeah, it's just a long range mid, nothing more to say. Let's talk about down forward 1. Now, down forward 1 is 14 frame down forward 1, -2 on block. But interestingly, in this game, it tracks to both sides. So if we set Raven to sidestep left and right after this move, he's not going to be able to step it. And this goes for every character. I believe the only character that can step this is Lily. And she has to be right in your face at range 0. And she has to do a very perfectly timed sidestep left. So in reality, even she can't step it in any direction. So this move is very strong, basically a homing down forward 1. There are instances where you can step it. As I said, Lily can sometimes step it, but again, in matches it's very unrealistic for Lily to step this move. So that's why it's very strong. It also has an extension, down forward 1-4. Mainly you would use this in heat, and we're going to cover heat in a little while. But again, down forward 1 tracks to both sides, does good damage, +8 on hit. So that opens you up for a mix on hit. And yeah, it's just a good poke. Let's talk about down back 2. So down back 2 is the easiest way to get into back turn. So now he's in back turn stance, you can cancel it by pressing back 3+4. And this is the safest way to get out of it. So this now would be -9. Because back turn cancel takes 5 frames. So this is actually 5 frames. So the move itself is -4 on block. Add 5 frames, now you're -9. So obviously you're going to be safe from jabs, you're going to be safe from mid pokes. So this is just a really good mid check, and it has quite decent range as well. Like, look at the range. So it's also an elbow, so it can't be parried, which is good for some matchups. It also has an extension, down back 2-1, which is mid-high, so it can be duck punished, but it's very hard to duck punish. And similarly, from down back 2-1, he has another string, down back 2-1-1. So this would be used more in heat because, as you can see there, his clone attacks are all -14. So you would use this in heat because the clone attacks become -3 in heat. But we're going to dive into that a little bit more in the heat section. Back 1. Now back 1 is great because it forces a mix on block even, not on hit. So on hit it's +10, but on block it's +7. So the frame trap here would be Soul Zone 3 or Soul Zone 1. Similarly, you can do Soul Zone 4, which counter hit launches if they do while standing 4. Now, if they do crouch jab, it's going to trade. So I'm going to show you that. Trades, but I still get the combo. So this is a true frame trap. Now let's look at the lows. Okay, Raven's best low, in my opinion, is now full crouch down forward 3. So this is a move that was previously his Haze 3 attack, but they changed it and got rid of Haze. So now they give it to him full crouch. So this move is very good. It's safe on block, as you can see. It's actually -9 on block. So there's a lot of mind games behind it. And similarly, if they do while standing 4, well, let me just set that up. Okay, so now he's going to do while standing 4. Same thing, but I just used back turn forward 1+2 parry. The one where he teleports is back turn back 1+3. And they both start up in 1 frame. That's why I'm able to parry a while standing 4. So this move is also very good because it counter hit knocks down for back turn forward 3+4. So the second best low, in my opinion, and to be honest, these could be interchangeable, but it's down 4. Down 4 does a lot of damage. It does 18 damage on hit. The move also leaves you in full crouch. So you have access to a full crouch mix. You don't always have to attack, you can backdash. Because of the range it leaves you at on hit, at max range, there is nothing the opponent can do to actually check you at that range. So you can just backdash, sidestep away from the opponent. You don't always have to attack, so that's one thing to keep in mind. So that's down 4. Third low, I would say, is... I'm going to give you 4 lows actually, because third low I would say is down 3. Just a poke low, nothing more. The only thing I will say is This move got buffed to -11 from -12, and that's massive because the difference between an I11 punish and an I12 punish for some characters is massive. I think having a -11 low is very, very important in this game like this. Last low is Hell Sweep, classic Hell Sweep. Now this actually forces you into stance. So there's different Oki options you can do from it. So if they side roll, Soul Zone 4 is going to be guaranteed. If they get up and block low, Soul Zone 2 is going to be guaranteed as a mix. And if they stay on the floor and you know they're going to stay on the floor, you can do this for more damage. So what this is it's Soul Zone back to get into back turn. You can also do Soul Zone down, but we're going to cover Soul Zone a little bit more. So those are just some moves in neutral that I think will get you started with Raven. Very, very strong neutral tools. Now let's talk about stances. So I'm going to cover the best moves in stance very quickly because his back turn has a lot of moves. So I don't want to cover it in too much depth as this is a beginner guide, so I don't want to overwhelm anyone watching it. So the first stance he has is back turn. The way to get into it is pressing back 3+4, as you can see on the command history. Back 3+4. So straight away I'll give you the best mid. The best mid is back turn back 2-4. It's safe on block, -9. It jails, so even though it says mid high, you actually cannot duck this move on block. So when you block the first hit, you can't duck the second hit. So that's why this move is very good. Compared to Tekken 7, it does more damage and it's more plus on hit. So on hit, it's +2 now instead of 0, which is neutral. So this opens him up to his G clef game, which is 1-2-4. Or simple jabs, sidestep, move around. So Raven has a lot of mind games behind this move as well, on block and on hit. So the second move is back turn forward 2 and forward 2-3. So in Tekken 7, this was actually natural, but in Tekken 7, the string was unsafe. So now this is safe, but if the second hit hits you, you get down forward 1-4 guaranteed. So this is really, really good for catching movement after this move. So if they try to move, they're going to get hit. If they try to press, they're going to get hit. Another thing to say about this move is that it's actually natural on counter hit. So for example, if you did 4-1 on hit into this move and they mashed, you would get down forward 1-4 for massive damage. Look at the damage. 56 damage from them mashing. So Raven can really hurt you for mashing. So that's one other move in back turn and mid I would say is very, very good. Now his quickest mid from back turn is back turn forward 3. So again, that would be useful in situations where you don't want them to mash. So like down back 2 on hit, back turn forward 3, 4-1 on hit, back turn forward 3. It also has a counter hit knockdown. So again, this move is just very good for mid checking if you don't want the opponent to disrespect you frames. Now the last mid I want to talk about is back turn power crush, back turn 1+2. Now this is a deterrent for, again, people disrespecting frames and mashing. So this is a good move to throw out every now and then with a guaranteed follow-up. Now this move is -13 on block, so I wouldn't recommend throwing it out all the time, but it is a good kind of mid check to just throw out every now and then to deter mashing. And as I said, it guarantees a forward 4-2 follow-up. So that's back turn power crush. Now let's look at some back turn lows quickly. So his best back turn low is now back turn forward 4. So this leaves him in the same situation as full crouch down forward 3. So -9 in back turn. So again, that's what that interaction looks like. So -9 low, very good. Also has an extension. So back turn forward 4-1, which also goes into his Soul Zone stats, which is very strong because that makes it +8 on hit. So this is now a mix-up. This is now a mix-up. And this will also trade with jabs if they decide to mash a jab. So this is very, very strong. Similarly, you can do white hole into full crouch, into back turn, or into regular stance. So that's why that low is very good. Second low he has that is decent but got nerfed from Tekken 7 is back turn down 4. Now this move is just a low check, but it's launch on block now and it does 6 damage. So severely nerfed, but I think it still has some use just to stop mashing high crushes, obviously, because it's a low. And he's crouching, so it's going to high crush. -4 on hit. So again, it's just a poke low. It's not used for pressure. It's used to mainly keep people in check from mashing. So that's what I would say about that move. So I've set him to do while standing 1 after blocking it. And as you can see, I cannot block. I'm holding back here. So this is actually launch on block. Again, just a poke low. So that's back turn stance. Let's talk about Soul Zone. Soul Zone completely replaces Haze. So Soul Zone 1 is just a quick high check that can be cancelled into crouch dash by pressing forward. Also has an extension to stop mashing, to keep them in check. Also good in heat because it does a lot of chip. That's Soul Zone 1. Soul Zone 2 is a really long range mid. So this would be good after heat smash.
It's not over yet.
So like, let's say you did heat smash from here. The mid is guaranteed. They have to hold the mid. Similarly, they have to hold the low as well. So this is a complete guess. That brings me on to Soul Zone 4. As you can see, it is launch on block, -16, but it can be spaced to be safer. So let's do it from here. -13, so he couldn't launch me there. Can be a bit safer. Let's go back a little bit. I would say from this range. Yep, that was -10 on block. So as you can see, you can actually space it to be safer. And this also counter hit launches and it's +2 on hit. But let's show you that. So +2 on hit. Let's turn punish off. +2 on hit, point blank. The farther away you are, the more plus it's going to be. But the more it pushes back. So it's kind of a double-edged sword. I think I would use this more for baiting punishes. And if I wanted the plus frames, I would do it closer range because you're going to be more closer to them on hit, even though it's less plus. But this is really good. And it tracks both ways, so it's very hard to step. Also count it launches, as showcased previously before. So this move is very good. Soul Zone 3. Now, Soul Zone 3 is basically just a longer range down back 2 because it retains the same frames on hit and block. Down back 2, -4 on block, and Soul Zone 3, -4 on block. Now, what does this mean for Soul Zone 3? That means if you manually cancel back with back 3 +4, you're going to be safe from jabs, from mid checking, and all that stuff. So I'm going to set Raven to actually mid check me after that move, or jab check because jabs are the quickest move. So let's do standing punishment, fast high attack. So I can still block it. So I'm safe if I cancel it. So that's why that move is very good. It's ultra long range. Like, look at the range of this move. Not quite that far. Let's do it here. Crazy range. It also low crushes because it's a jumping attack. So again, this move is very good. It also has an extension which mainly is used for combos. So I'm going to show you just an easy combo with Raven. So look, the move is used here as a tailspin attack, a tornado screw attack, and that is used to extend combos. So his Soul Zone stance is very integral to combos and extending combos and increasing wall carry. So yeah, Soul Zone is very good. There is one last move from Soul Zone, which is Soul Zone 1+2. So Soul Zone 1+2 is essentially his old Haze 1+2, but now made into a homing move and a high. So again, you can see it knocks down on normal hit, so you get back 3 or down back 4 on hit, guaranteed, so they can't actually escape it. So it's just a good check if you notice them stepping a lot. So you can neutralize that stepping with this move, and look, it goes really far. And also this move is used for those high spin attacks. As you can see, it does that kind of high spin. So this is useful for extending combos for optimal damage in longer combos. It's actually 0 on block as well. It looks plus, but it's not plus. It's 0 on block. So again, high homing move, 0 on block, guaranteed knockdown on hit. Yeah, just a good check for stepping. I think it's great. Okay, let's jump into his grab. So his first grab is Undertaker grab, up forward 1+2. Now this is important because previously his Undertaker grab input was half circle back, forward 1+2. So it was a very difficult input, but they made it much easier for forward 1+2. So there is no Oki from the grab, which is a little bit disappointing, but it's still a very, very strong grab. Does 40 damage and can be accessed from full crouch because it's up forward 1+2. So as you can imagine, you can crouch dash into up forward 1+2. Stuff like that you can do. And let's look at his one command throw, which is down forward 1+4. So you have to press 1 to break this throw. And to break this one, I didn't actually mention, it's a 1+2 break. So you have to press 1+2 to break this one. Now this is a 1 break, so you have to press 1 to break this one. This actually breaks the floor. So as you can see in hit properties, the yellow icon means a floor break. So if this hits the floor on a floor break stage, it's going to break the floor. So this is really, really strong. Also can be done from crouch dash or wave dash, like that. So again, you can add this into the mix. So again, his crouch dash becomes very strong with the use of these throws. Now crouch dash is not something a beginner should learn because it makes him very, very intimidating to learn. This is more of an advanced technique, so we're not going to cover this in this guide because it is very, very technical. So yes, this is not something a beginner should be learning and jumping into straight away. So let's look at heat stuff lastly. What are Raven's heat engages? The first one is 1+2. Pay attention to the frame advantage. He's +17 now. Let's do another heat engager. Forward 1+2. Again, it's going to be +17. So this is universal. So no matter what heat engage you land, he's always going to be +17. So that's 1+2. Forward 1+2. While standing 3+4. Soul Zone 2. And back turn 4. Which is another decent move from back turn. It is especially good in heat because it becomes a launcher. So let's talk about the heat moves that are actually launchers. So his only heat move that is not a launcher is forward 1+2. So let's activate heat. So if I do the heat dash, I can't actually pick up. I have to do back throw. That's something guaranteed. Every other heat engager he can combo. So Soul Zone 2. Back turn 4.
It's not over yet.
1+2. And while standing 3+4. So those are his heat engages that actually launch. So forward 1+2 does not launch, but it's still a good move if you want some plus frames at a long distance. So you can still get plus frames using this move from really, really far away. So what about when he's in heat? What happens to his moves when he's in heat? So Raven actually gets some power-ups in heat. So I'm going to select activate heat. Heat dashes, we already covered what launches and what doesn't launch. But what about his clone attacks that I was talking about earlier? So like down forward 1-4, down back 2-1-1. So I'm going to enable the health bars now so that you can really see the chip damage. So I've enabled the health bars so you can really, really see the damage, the chip damage. So what happens to Raven's clone attacks? So Raven's clone attacks that are useful in heat are down forward 1-4. And note that he actually gets heat back if a clone hits. So pay attention to the heat meter. It goes green when a yellow clone hits or an orange clone hits, which is really, really important in heat. So as you can see, he blocked it and it took heat away. Now on heat, I'm gaining heat back because it's on hit. But that's also very, very good about Raven. So it can save you if you want to do a heat smash. So we're going to cover all the moves that do chip damage. So down forward 1-4, down back 2-1-1. Loads of chip damage. While standing 3-2 also becomes a launcher in heat, safe launcher. So while standing in 3-2 also becomes a safe launcher in heat. -3 on block. Let's turn block off so you can see. Safe launcher in heat. Now there's one last one that I want to talk about, which is running 3-4. Now this is only doable in heat. So normally he can only do running 3, which guarantees like a back turn 1+2 on hit. And it's +4 on block. Now if we do the heat extension, which is running 3-4, he's +7 on block. And it does a lot of chip. Now he's +7 on block into back turn, which means this is now a frame trap. This is a frame trap. A lot of his moves now become true frame traps after this move. It's very, very strong. So that's Raven's heat in a nutshell. Now Raven is a character that is very good at space control with crouch dash, with his long range pokes. The fact that he can crouch dash for more range on lows. While standing moves are quite strong. His backdash is very, very strong as well. And overall, Raven is just a complete character. So I hope you enjoyed that Raven beginner guide. Peace.